Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the ongoing follow the money concept. This will be part 1 after the introduction, and I apologize if I had to take a long time to upload videos, but you know, I'm also trading and sharing this knowledge for free. So without further ado, let's start. As always, this is a risk disclaimer. If you can please go through it and read it. Today we have an important, we are going deep onto the concept itself of follow the money, and the title it's the battleground between buyers and sellers, because as you know, there's only on the charts there are two participants that we can see, someone buying and someone selling, and guess what, they are always fighting to gain ground. So this is how I see my charts, and this is how I interpreted the charts. Okay. So what is buyers and what is sellers, and what their roles in the charts? The first thing that you need to understand, buyers, people who buys when the market going up, they always create some sort of dams. Okay, and this is my terminology. Feel free to use them. If you are not okay to use these terminologies, you know, you can just name them as, you know, wherever you like. This is some sort of maybe fancy name, but there are also many other fancy names already in the market, such as support and resistance, or by supply and demand, all sorts of things. None of this is important. What is important is finding these areas. Okay, so buyer's dams, this is an area on the chart. Make a note of the word area here, that they declare that it's territory. Okay, they don't let any seller to intervene and take it away from them, and they will defend this with their hearts. Okay, and as they are going on the trend, they will always keep on, you know, forming those areas. It seems like it's like, you know, it's the last resort for them. They are going in a battle. They are creating this like stops or stop zones where they leave majority of their army there to defend these areas, because they are taking over. Okay, just if you see it this way, it will help you visualize, you know, things in the chart. So you will form it as long as they are going in the trend, and when this area is completely formed, they will go on with another advancement or another raid into the trend. Okay, this is now just a visual explanation. As you can see, first leg, buyers creating a dam. This area is not going to be let out by the sellers. The second leg, they are also creating another dam, another area, and third leg, they are also creating a dam. These areas, of course, you know, this is taken from drawing from a chart, so they will not look always the same look, but you know, they will differ a little bit. And in the opposite, we have seller castles, also the same as buyers. Also, this is, you know, another fancy name, but you can use it or you don't, doesn't matter. Most important is to understand the concept. They will create these castles along the way they are going down the trend, okay, because sellers usually are responsible for downtrends, and they will form it, and these areas will always witness the birth of a new leg in the seller trend, okay. And this is another visual explanation of seller advancement. This one here, another castle here, and another castle here. So, dams and castles. This is a vital and very important basis for you to correctly identify any market, and of course, have success in Forex overall. It's so important, like I cannot stress it enough. Without this understanding, you have no idea who's in control, what is happening, okay. And as I said before, no matter how do you use it and what do you call it, supply, demand, support, resistance, you can call it whatever you want to call it, as long as and as long as you identify these areas in the chart, okay. I cannot stress how important these areas are on the charts, okay. This is like everything basically, okay. So no matter what you use in your trading, indicator, other concept, if you neglect, okay, this concept, you have no basis or success in the market, period, okay. If you are not sure how to draw them, you stay away and just keep learning, okay, because without them, as I say, you can't do anything, okay. Unless you draw, of course, you're relying on your indicator, what the indicator is drawing, and then I'm not sure if the indicator base the indicator is just like a little tool there, but people make it as a holy god. So as I say, this is the basis of your chart reading, okay, drawing these areas. We will go into some charts now and we identify them. So finding these areas, you always need to start with a bigger picture. As you remember from the last video, into the introduction, I compare what is happening on the higher time frame and lower time frame, and why we always need to have the higher time frame picture in mind, because the lower time frame things happen quicker, okay, and not necessarily we will benefit from these quick moves, okay. So we always, when we are identifying our dams and castles, buyers dams and seller castles, we need to always to check the weekly chart, okay, not going to monthly, because the information that is going to be like coming from the monthly will be already on the weekly, but it will be already in the weekly or more depth, if I may say, okay. In the monthly chart is very, very slow. It's so slow. Like one candle is 1 month. It's very, very slow. But weekly, at least, to give us some more like picture, okay. And then we come down to the daily chart. We also identify them, and the 4 hour and the 1 hour. No less than the 1 hour. We cannot go any less than 1 hour identifying these areas. You can, if you want to open the 15 minutes, and see them, because as I said before as well in the last video, that these are fractal in nature. So you you will see them in any chart, but we are looking for stable positions that based on a bigger picture. Okay, so we will go on some charts now and we'll identify them, and I will show you how I see them. But it's important for you that you do your homework every day, because your eyes need to skim through the charts quickly and identify in this area as soon as possible. Like, you don't take time. Okay, so let's go to some charts now and let's see. I have here the Euro GBY, but doesn't matter, we can go to Euro USD. Majority of people trade it. So we are in the weekly chart. Okay, as we see, we have some sort of downtrend here. Just gonna leave this line like that. Okay, don't worry about the line, I will explain this later. Trend lines. What you see here is going down, isn't it? The line is going down. That means we are in the seller territory. They are, sellers taking over the market here. Okay, I will insert some areas. So the current area, which is this area here, and there was another area here. Okay, the seller are creating the castles as a last resort for them. Let's see. Okay, we came down, we made this kind of formation here. We came down from this formation. This is the battle, of course, like between buyers and sellers. Of course, we are in the seller market. Seller took over, get out from this formation, and buyers wanted to come back again here. But guess what? This is the last resort for them. If they let go of this area, that means they lost an important place in the market, their territory basically. So they came down and buyers want to come, intervene, or hijack this place. They are kicking them, going down, because there is a battle already happening. Seller already took over again. That means we have a confirmation that they are going down again. Okay, the buyers are coming, pushing, but this is also a last resort for the buyers to intervene, and they are being pushed down. And another seller castle here, and we are currently on this seller castle. Okay, this is a weekly. If we go down to the daily, we will see this picture is better, and we might even see more castles, but the weekly one is sufficient. This is the areas that we are intervening, seeing. Here again, and if you notice, we just went out from this area where the sellers already declare a victory here. Okay, so these areas are important in our chart. We will go to the 4 hour to see what's happening. Usually the 4 hour, it's very important with the weekly, of course, but the 4 hours as well, will be like a middle kind of chart that shows you what is really happening, very current, very current, like mostly current, and it's like an intermediate between weekly and daily. So as we say, this was the last resort for the sellers. They defended this by their heart. Buyers tried to push in, they failed. Buyers tried to push in again, they failed. okay? And we are currently in a situation where buyers are being pushed away and seller is taking over the market. Okay, this is a seller market, and this is the last result from the higher time frame. Okay, now that we are in 4 hour, we can do the same because charts are fractal in nature. If I do this, this is an established 4 hour trend of the seller taking over. This is normal, but guess what? Because there is always pushing from both sides. In the lower time frame, you will see, you know, little trends develops, but the bigger picture in mind, we are in a seller market. Little picture in mind, there is always the battle. Okay, so if we said seller is taking over, we have a buyer coming in, they creating some sort of dams, and if I highlight this area here, this is the area that we are currently fighting over. This is the territory that they are currently fighting over. Okay, and if we go to the 1 hour, we'll see the fight already happen. Buyers came in, buyers came strong. You see how strong they pushing away. They want to get out of this area. They want to get them out from this area. And we have another attempt failed, another attempt failed, and we are currently in some sort of attempt here. So as you see, looking at this picture, the weekly is telling us that this is a seller market, but if we just rely on the weekly, we'll have to wait weeks and weeks before we, execute a trend or execute a trade. It's not necessarily, good, because you can still keep, you will have opportunities trading with a good formation, heavy formation of 4 hour and the daily. Okay, structures and buyers and sellers, and you can rely on them. This is areas that you can rely on them in the 4 hour, in the 1 hour, on the daily. Okay, but also we have to notice that if we came to this area, this is a weekly sellers dam. Okay, we will need to be very cautious here in this specific area. So now, as you see, while we are projecting from here, the seller will be pushed away and we will create another leg advancement. This is we're just starting here, explaining the concepts and everything. In more like future videos, we'll go into depth of entries, other sort of formation that we need to see and we need to monitor, many other stuff. But first thing first, you need to identify your areas of the chart. Okay, I just wanna leave this video with making sure that you understand where is these areas and how much important they are. Okay, because without them, as I say, these are the basis of successful trading. Okay, let me see more areas here just to show you. Okay, doesn't matter how I'm drawing the trend line. I know people will come in and it's like, oh, he's trading the trend line through the candles. Okay, I don't mind. Just bear with me. Okay, I understand what I'm doing here. Here it is, another buyer's dam. We pushed away just to make sure. Pushed away from it. Came here. We pushed. Okay. We have another formation here. we pushed away from, we get away. Here there was a false attempt, because if you can see, this was a false attempt from the seller to take over. But guess what? The buyers already had a dam here. They had some soldiers here defending this area. And as you see, boom, they came. Didn't take them long. Push again up. Right. Another area here where was a battleground. And we have a sell buyers declaring victory here and establishing more. And another area here. Notice that all this I'm doing is just 1 hour. This is like intraday kind of trades that you can take. Okay. And this is a consistent battle. Consistent battle. So go back to your chart, identify your areas, take any chart, okay? Doesn't matter what its chart is. Take any chart, identify your areas, starting from the weekly, go for hours, go 1 hour. And when you have all the areas in your chart, you know now where you're going, okay? If the weekly is telling you that we are in sell market, of course you need to know that this is weekly chart. Things will take longer to go. So you can come back down to the 4 hour, 1 hour minimum. You know, you don't go below 1 hour. And see these areas and execute. Alright, this is part 1. Please do your homework, and we will see you in part 2, where we will talk about the advancement. Okay, thank you very much and have a lovely day. See you. Bye bye.